All right, so we got a new Super Bowl champion this year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know what?
Woo!
I I can't really hate on Brady because he played his ass off this game, even though he was doing the same, dunking the ball down, and all of a sudden he'll throw it deep, like he loaded on the.
Man. Oh man, he made me look stupid. I can tell you that
Yeah,
much. He
Brady
made
did
me
his
look
thing
stupid.
today.
My
Like
hats
watch,
off,
you know.
hats off, hats off to him.
Yeah, can't really say nothing about this one.
Yeah, they exposed the Chiefs, man. They exposed them. If you want to beat them, that's the way you beat them. The Bucks had the right recipe, and they cooked
Yeah,
up a L.
yeah, that's the first. I think that's the first time Mahomes lost by double digits. I think they said that's the first time he lost by double digits in 3 years. That's how dominant he's been, and that's how dominant the Bucs was today.
Man,
Uh, I know early on in the first half, the penalties took the Chiefs completely out of the game, but the second half, the Bucs just kept coming.
yeah, kept
They
coming
just kept coming. They didn't keep coming with scoring. They only scored one more touchdown, but they stopped them every single time, the whole game.
every single time, the whole game. Eh,
Okay.
Can't remember a butt whooping like that in a while since Denver and Seattle. That's the last butt whooping I can
Uh,
remember like that from pillar to post. That was not
I
fun to
mean,
watch. I can tell you that. Yeah, I'm not a Kansas
uh,
City fan. I'm not a Tampa Bay fan, but that was that was hard to watch.
yeah,
Hard to watch.
me being a Mahomes fan, it sucked watching it, but he's young, he's only 25. He got a lot more to go, a lot many more years to, build up his resume, which is already one of the greatest as he stands. Even though he was under duress the whole game, the throws that he was making while falling down was pinpoint, and the Chiefs dropped a few passes, and you know, you can see how good Mahomes is just by him being under duress and still as accurate as he is. But overall, the Buccaneers just completely outplayed the Chiefs. It wasn't even close after the second quarter.
Wasn't even
Uh,
close. I guess
yeah,
that
so
the door is closed on the GOAT debate. That door is slammed shut.
yeah, I don't think, just how it works. I don't think they would ever put Mahomes above Brady, even though quarterbacks are completely different. Like they would never put Peyton Manning above Tom Brady, even though Peyton Manning beat Tom Brady the majority of the time. It's just football fans are, they're so biased.
Hmm.
They take one thing and they, like this is how we judge. Like for instance, with Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice is the greatest receiver because he has the Super Bowls, the MVPs, the yards, the touchdowns. He has every category. So there's not really, it doesn't matter how talented you are, you will never be greater than Jerry Rice as a wide receiver. Then on the flip side, you look at Emmitt Smith, who has the Super Bowls, the MVPs, the yards, the touchdowns, more than any other running back. But people don't even talk about him as a top five player, and I mean a top five running back. So he's undefeated in the Super Bowl. He's 3-0.
Hmm.
He has the rushing yards, the most touchdowns. He has everything. He has all the records, but him and Jerry Rice is just completely different. Like we'll take someone who's more talented than Jerry Rice, like T.O. and Moss, and you can see how they're more athletic, they're faster, they're stronger. They don't get caught when they have the ball, but still, it's Jerry Rice. But then you look on the other side, someone like Barry Sanders, who is just like T.O. and Moss, is more gifted than Jerry Rice. Like Barry Sanders was more gifted than Emmitt Smith. But Emmitt Smith still got the Super Bowls, the yards, the touchdown, but no one would say Emmitt Smith is better than Barry Sanders. And
I think what kills Emmitt Smith and his when it comes to Emmitt Smith is the fact that the supporting cast around him was so good that they
you can
try
say that
to.
about Jerry Rice. You can say that about Tom Brady.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can, but like you said, it's It's always that bias that
Yeah,
comes
it's
in.
like Emmett did something to somebody, you know, like when he held out. It's like, that ruined his reputation as a superstar. You know,
Yeah,
when they gave Troy well, he held out for like 20 million or something. Like it wasn't. It was more. It wasn't enough that he wanted. It was something that he deserved. And then the following year, they gave Troy Aikman like 3 times the amount of money compared to Isbell. So
of course.
it's just weird. I think. Um,
Yeah,
football.
man.
They do the same thing in basketball too with Jordan. So they have the media have their criteria and they push it, and that's the criteria no matter what.
Yep. Yep.
Championships is the criteria until you talk in basketball. Until you talk about Kareem and Bill Russell Davis, different than the stats.
Exactly.
Then when it comes to LeBron, oh no, let's go back to rings.
Right. Jump around.
And, yeah, because with football, Joe Montana never lost a Super Bowl.
Nope.
That criteria is not used at all. So
Nope.
Terry Bradshaw didn't lose a Super Bowl either. He's 4-0. Brady, is thinking about it. I always said that Joe Montana was, has the best legacy of a quarterback. But Tom Brady, he has the best legacy of any football player. The guy got 7 Super Bowl rings. 7 Super Bowl rings. 7.
Can't do
That's like
nothing but shake my
unbelievable.
head.
And he's
Ridiculous.
43. He is so dedicated to playing football that he could do what he's doing right now for at least 3 more years. He Football is his life.
Let's
He doesn't
pray.
care about anything else.
Let's pray that he leaves soon, like tonight. Retire
You
tonight,
know,
Tom.
I
He's
re-
done it
I
all.
like remember when like Jordan was playing, and I never rooted for the Bulls, but every time they were in the finals, for some reason I wanted the Bulls to win. And when Jordan retired, I was kind of disappointed, even though I wasn't a Jordan fan. You know, I think I want to see Brady keep playing,
Oh
not because
man.
he could get old and look like Drew Brees. Like Drew Brees looked pathetic this year in the playoffs.
See the
That's
difference between that though was the when Mike them was winning, there wasn't nothing else entertaining in the NBA for us to grab onto. But it's plenty of young talent in the NFL that we can grasp onto. Tom Brady could go
yeah.
away.
Well, yeah. If you look about it, when Jordan retired, they put a asterisk on the Houston titles because Jordan retired. Like it was their fault. And
Right.
ratings dropped because Jordan was the show. And
Exactly.
when LeBron wasn't in the finals, it was kind of weak. It was kind of weak when LeBron got hurt and what was in the playoffs. It was kind of weak. And when he boosts back up, and then every single minute he's on the court, there's something to talk about. Even if he missed a shot, he could go 9 for 10, and they would talk about how he only shot 10 times, or someone would talk about the one shot he missed. Like there's always something to talk about with LeBron. That's how it was with Jordan, and that's why a lot of people just can't leave the '90s in the past. Because for them, there's nothing to talk about but Michael Jordan, and there is a lot of good football players still today. So,
Yeah, I was just saying that it's a lot of young, talented, quarterbacks in the
well, you got
in the
Patrick
league right
Mahomes.
now. Patrick
Patrick
Mahomes,
Mahomes is going to drive this ship for the next 10 years.
you got Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts showed that he's coming. You got
You got
my
Lamar.
boy in Buffalo, Allen.
Yeah,
He's
Lamar.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got Lamar
you got
Jackson.
a
You got
lot of talented quarterbacks, and it's not
exactly.
like Brady is tearing up the league. So if
He's
just like
just in the
last,
way. He's a name in the
yeah,
way. He's just that person that's in the way. It's kind of like what LeBron is now. To a point, he's in the way, and it's like, okay, oh man, I got to go through Brady. I got to go through LeBron. It's like it's a
I don't
headache.
even. think it's
thinking
that
about it.
because last year when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, like it was always about the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. It was always about Patrick Mahomes. It wasn't really about Brady because Brady hasn't really been dominant as a quarterback. That's the one thing about Brady. He's not dominant as a quarterback. Like today, he had 3 touchdowns, but he didn't really take any risk. So he's not like Peyton Manning where everything revolves around him. Or you have to go through Brady to win a game. Very rare have you had to go through Brady to win a game. Like today, you had to go through that Bucs defense to win that game. Like Brady was like when you play the Chiefs, you're not going through the Chiefs defense. You're going through Patrick Mahomes. So that's like I say, if Brady's not even playing, I don't think it'd be that big of a difference because he's not a like showstopper. He's not like LeBron who's gonna outthink you and the coach on the floor. So that's the difference between I think Brady being this dominant player and just football in general.
It's a sad day. Sad day. It's a sad
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, but I guess this GOAT talk between Jordan and Brady is just gonna keep creeping up. So, he's gonna be put next to Jordan as the greatest modern day athlete of all time. We already got Jordan #1. Brady is #2 now. No matter what anybody say, he's #2.
Mm-hmm.
You
Not much to be said at this
can't really
point.
argue because the guy got, you know, remember when Brett Favre was like, he had all of the records? I remember, I think he had like 64,000 yards, and people thought that was going to be so difficult to get. Tom Brady has over 80,000 yards. Over 80,000 yards.
We gotta give a lot of that. We gotta give a lot of that credit to Randy Moss that year he was there.
But
He was on
but
fire that
still,
year.
but still, the dude got over 80,000 yards, over 10,000 more than Peyton Manning. He got more touchdowns than everybody. You can't really say nothing. He's like the LeBron of the NFL with the stats and now the Super Bowls. You combine LeBron's stats and Bill Russell dominance, you get Tom Brady. And there's nothing you can say about it. There's not an argument you could say. You could say that Peyton Manning was a better quarterback. You could say that. You pull up the stats of the Super Bowls, you could argue that it's not close. You could say John Elway was the best. Joe Montana was the best. You add up Joe Montana and John Elway Super Bowls and probably yardage and touchdowns, you equal Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You think of the 2 greatest players in the 80s, you combine their stats in Super Bowls, you're not even equaling Tom Brady. You do the same thing in the 90s. That's how dominant Tom Brady is.
Good night with Tom Brady talk. I am done.
For the rest of your life, you have to know that Tom Brady is the greatest football player to ever play the game.
Hey,
That's just
such
what
is
it
life.
is.
Such is
That's
life.
life, and I tip my hat off to the man. He not only for what he's done on the field, but just how dedicated he is to football. That's the main thing. He's like
Good
Kobe
thing.
Bryant. He's just
It's a good.
dedicated to being the best.
It's a good thing. I like NCAA football more than the NFL, so I really don't have to. I really don't have to dwell in this abyss of Tom Brady. I can go back and ride my tide, my road tide. I can go back and ride that wave.
Yeah,
I can stand on that wave with Nick Saban.
yeah. But who knows? By the time Nick Saban retires, Tom Brady might still be playing.
Man, that's ridiculous.
Just like Bruce Arians said, this all happened because of this man came here. And it's kind of hard to think without Tom Brady on that team, could they have won it? Like, to me, he didn't like do something extraordinary to win those games, but he's such a good, quarterback for any system because he's not going to take any risks. And for some reason, he knows when to throw the ball over 5 feet because over 5 yards. He doesn't throw it downfield that much. But when he does, it's like he knows that it's time. He knew every time today that, okay, I'm gonna dink and dunk these screen passes, these little slants. Then I need to hit this dude in the stride right here, and he did it every time. He's accurate today. He wasn't under any pressure today at all. It seems like, and when he did, the play got called back. So,
man, Kansas City left their game in Kansas City on offense and defense. They got on that plane and they left their game in Kansas City at Arrowhead or whatever stadium they play.
I don't know what they was doing, but sometimes having that two weeks off, like in for the national title in college football, it really hurts a lot of teams that 2 weeks off. So, and I remember before, like the title game used to be over a month that the players didn't play. So it's kind of hard for the best team to always win when you have that much of the time off. And who knows, that could have affected the Chiefs today. But either way, they got rolled.
That Bucs defense affected them, man.
That Bucs defense was fresh.
It was fresh.
I mean, they didn't even let Mahomes throw a touchdown.
And I don't want to hear the excuse, third stringers on the line. Them men get paid millions of dollars or thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars to go out there and play. You practice every day for a reason. You're supposed to be ready at all times for a reason. So I don't want to hear that excuse. Any other profession, you got to be ready no matter what's going on. You got to be ready to do your job. And, hey, you weren't ready to do your job, and you got ran over. And that man was running for his life the whole game because you couldn't block somebody. And, hey, that's on you, and that's on the coaching staff for not having you prepared.
It's not nothing they could do about it. You can't even complain about that. Like the offensive lineman, you practice every day versus the other. Even though most of them was injured, I give them that, but still, this is a Super Bowl. You gotta reach deep to perform in the Super Bowl.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, let's see how next season goes. We have time. Hopefully, this COVID stuff a little bit better.
Right.
But hopefully they could go out. They made it through the whole year. No one thought that things was not going to happen because of COVID. They literally played the whole season, all the way through the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They had some hiccups, but it went very smooth. It went very smooth. I don't think any missed games cost anybody, any playoff time. Like, there's no player you could think of like, oh, they would have won or they would have made the playoffs if, they didn't have to sit out. I think the NFL did a good job and the players did a good job being available.
Yeah. Well, see you next year, NFL.
Yeah, all right. I guess we signing off.
Signing off. I still hate Tom Brady.
Thanks for tuning into Not Another Sports Show on the Blue Chippers podcast. For more content, check out our other shows and subscribe to the Blue Chippers podcast on YouTube. Follow us on Not Another Sports Show 2021 on Instagram and Twitter.